Hello everybody, and welcome to my video on Fata Morgana Reincarnation. And this is kind of, if you ask me, the good ending to Fata Morgana. And it just feels like everything has been given a fresh start, everything's in a modern setting, a completely different setting to what everything was like in the original, and you also have a really unusual art style and even voice acting. So yeah, it's a very unique experience, this visual novel. I think I know a lot of people say they didn't really think the most of the art style. I think the sprites definitely not for me, but I love the CGs in this game. Seriously, I think they did a really good job on them. So yeah, in this video, I'm just gonna kind of tell you about my thoughts when reading the story. It has been quite a while since I've read it, but yeah, hopefully that shouldn't really be much of an issue. So here we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. So as you can see here, you just have the prologue, and you have the beginning of everything that is going on with Michelle and Giselle, and I just love Giselle's realization at the fact that this is the house they are going to be living in. Yeah, Michelle is definitely, I mean, he's not in nobility, but he is pretty well off, my god. And he has a really good job as well. And yeah, it's a really nice beginning actually. And then you just get the really unusual meeting with Giselle and Maria. Well, I mean, Michelle and Giselle meet Maria just completely out of coincidence, but then obviously Giselle gets to know Maria more. And then she starts working at her cafe. Giselle becomes, I mean, she gets employment out of Giselle, and it just feels really unusual. It must be so weird for her, like, because we know these characters and we know the connections, but they don't. So you just have somebody random get to know you and then basically ask you for a job. But yeah, that's the prologue, and then we have the Seeing Glass chapter. And do you know what I was kind of scared this visual novel would do at first was make everything really cliched. It's just, oh, people knew each other in a past life and now they're coming to know each other in the present life. But and obviously everything's okay, but what I really like is the fact that the flaws in the main game, and I suppose in Requiem as well with Jacopo and Morgana, they are still definitely here. And this story really shows how how people use those, everything learnt in those past lives to kind of live a good life in the present. And if you've read Higurashi, yeah, just think about how similar the stories are. And that was kind of what I compared it to when I was actually reading, because I felt like they were really similar in some ways. And what's also interesting about Mel and Nellie's chapter, the Seeing Glass chapter, is the fact that in the original, at the end of chapter 8, like obviously the good ending, not any of those sub-endings you get where, I don't know, Michelle's killed or something. Michelle does something wrong, and then he's killed by Lord Barnier. But yeah, it's... Anyway, I got totally sidetracked. But yeah, we thought these people were just two people who could possibly have a relationship rather than brothers and sisters. They only realise that they are actually brothers and sisters in this chapter, which is quite... It's very different, and it's nice to see... I mean, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really think the most of Mel's characters, but I did like... kind of all of the differences in their lives, and also the jealousy he felt for Nellie as well, and also Nellie's character as well. And yeah, it is really quite powerful just how everything is solved in the end as well. Yeah, it's a nice ending. And then we have the Chains chapter as well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this chapter is really, really unusual because it shows Pauline and Yukimasa. And it actually shows Yukimasa being able to fully communicate his feelings to Pauline and show just how, well, I don't know if you could really call him deranged, but how unusual he is. And, well, he's very lucky that happened because, yeah, as shown in this scene, he nearly fucking killed her. But, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, another parallel to Higurashi. Like, when people communicate their feelings, there's so much more of a chance of things actually going correctly, and that kind of happened here. And it's so funny. A lot of the slice of life scenes you see in this point of the story as well, because you have everything with Maria, and you have Pauline and Maria's connection, and you also have just everything at the cafe, and also Maria's perspective when these two meet. I think it's hilarious. Pauline is the best language exchange student. And yeah, it was really powerful just seeing Yukimasa's other side, and I liked the kind of alternate perspective that kind of happened here as well. So he obviously had well, he had a voice telling him from the past, well, kind of like a memory from the past his soul had, just not to kill anybody, because obviously he would go into a point of no return if he did. So what's interesting is he kind of, especially in when we see his true side, he just does everything apart from, well, not murdering somebody. He just goes as far as he possibly can because he's, let's be honest, an absolute wreck of a human being. And I like seeing that. And I also like this part here, just Pauline's acceptance of the fact that maybe she is just equally as strange as Yukimasa for, I don't know, fancying someone like him. And yeah, it's a surprising scene. That it's actually very surprising that they all made up. It does kind of make sense when you think about how long they've known each other, but it is still quite something. And I was gonna say something, but then I forgot. Oh well. But yeah, Chains is a really nice chapter, and can I just mention I love the music that played in this scene. I think that it's really impactful. Obviously, I think the chapters actually get better as you progress through the story. So I think Seeing Glass was, it was alright, but I think Chains is a lot better, and I like just all you see about Yukimasa as well. I think he was done really quite nicely. And then obviously we have the best chapter in the story. Let's be honest here. I mean, Morgana and Jacobo's dynamic will always be good, and this is just an example of it, really. And do you remember when I was saying about when I was first kind of reading this story, how absurd I thought that, yeah, just in theory, the two people were random people who have no reason to know each other, but in reality, all of them know each other from past lives and stuff like that. And I mean, oh my god, that really applies to Morgana and Jakobos chapter. I mean, especially because, I mean, obviously it's just kind of, the reason they meet is kind of the same as Requiem, in the sense that, yeah, Jacopo may have quote unquote nothing to gain from, I don't know, taking Morgana in, but he just sees somebody who is really vulnerable and wants to help them ultimately. And I just think it's so funny that Jacopo will not let Morgana go. He just has to look after her because he's ultimately really kind. And it's also, can I just mention, really nice to see Jacopo's, well, just how his personality has changed. Because what I really like about his personality in particular is it just feels like he has such a different life and a different situation in his life, and yet at the same time it just feels like he is the same person. And I think that's just what is really good about how all of these characters have kind of been written in the modern environment, really. Just the fact that they all feel so similar and they feel like the same character, just with different situations. Now, obviously, we have, Jacopo takes Morgana in, and then, well, I mean, he doesn't even know why he's doing it himself, and he has shame. It's just, he's just moved by an invisible force, his soul. And obviously, he doesn't really know about his soul until later on. And it is actually quite surprising that he learns about it, and so does Morgana, but obviously it's because of just the depth of their connection together, really. But yeah, we just see a lot about how hard Morgana's life has been, and yeah, especially in this scene here, that applies. But yeah, obviously we have the connection with Maria. Yeah, Jacopo has to justify himself, otherwise he will seem a bit illegal. Well, I mean, technically what he is doing is illegal, can I just mention that? And yet he's just doing everything for Morgana. He barely even knows why he's doing it himself. But yeah, and then obviously we have this really, really nice scene where we just learn how fucked up Morgana's life has been, basically. And we also see Jacopo just really wanting the best for her, and in particular, yeah, in this scene as well, you just see, well, Morgana's horrible stepfather and Morgana and Jacopo just wanting to give him a piece of his mind and just doing everything he can not to not to make it so that Morgana's family situation wins over her. And I think it's just really sweet how Jacopo totally lets Morgana start her life around again, because ultimately that is kind of what Jacopo always wanted, especially in Requiem. He just ultimately wanted her to have a normal life and not to live as the saint, but just a normal person. But also just in general to have a good life, and that's what he really does here, and that's what he successfully does. And yeah, in the epilogue especially, you can see how that's kind of taken effect, because she's not let anything control herself, and she's been able to win against it. And yeah, with the epilogue as well, yeah, holy shit, this scene, love it. But I just love the song that plays in the epilogue, Twilight. I actually think that is the best. It might actually be the best soundtrack in the entirety of the trilogy. I'm not even joking. I genuinely think that is so moving, and it really gives you a memorable finale. Holy fuck! But yeah, it's so funny seeing everybody get together, and it does feel. You remember? Wait, actually, I've done multiple takes of this video. I can't remember if I said it in this one or not. So I will just reiterate my point in case I haven't said it in this video. But I was really scared at first that this VN would be very, very cliched. It would just be, oh, lots of people who know each other in a past life coincidentally meet each other in the present life. But I'm happy that it didn't feel that cliched. And I actually think it was done quite nicely. Just the fact that everybody gets together and all in the same time period as well, which is quite unusual. But yeah, then they just have the soup party, and I love that. There's this one quote where I think Giselle was asked what is happening by the neighbours. Oh, and then she just says she's having a soup party. And then Morgana obviously justifying why soup is the best meal on the planet. Soup is a nice meal, to be fair. I won't deny. And to be fair, with cooking soup, there's a lot less that can go wrong than cooking meat. I mean, if you undercook soup, it's not really the worst. If you undercook meat, you could kill somebody. That is, if they want to eat it and they don't realise that it's been undercooked. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's such an amazing scene, just seeing how Jacopo totally remembers everything, and Morgana does, and obviously the guilt for Jacopo, but also the hatred for Morgana, and how that changes into this, like into them finally connecting, and Morgana even saying that maybe someday she will feel the same as Jacopo does. And yeah, this just really feels like the dream after, well, the question mark fragment after everything in Requiem. And it is amazing to see. This scene is so memorable and is hilarious as well. And I actually like it how it's just a random glance at a place that they are stopping on the roadside to see. It's so ordinary, and it feels like it should be so insignificant, and yet it is probably the most important thing in this plot. And I like also Jacopo just totally realizing what his life is and what he feels he should be doing in his life as a result of Morgana as well. Anyway, that's everything I wanted to talk about in Reincarnation, and yeah, it's a good visual novel. I think obviously this visual novel is one that you can only really enjoy if you've read the previous two visual novels, and I don't think it's nearly as impactful if you don't. But at the same time, I do think it is a good visual novel for anybody to read who's enjoyed the first two visual novels of the series. Anyway, yeah, so what we're going to do next for Fata Morgana related stuff, I have actually been reading the short stories, the Tales Wasted Away in Obscurity stories. But the thing is, there's one that I haven't finished yet. And yeah, I will be making the video when I have actually finished it. I'm looking for a time, because I'm reading a different visual novel at the moment. I'm looking for a time where I want to break, and that's when I'm going to read that. And then I intend to do the short stories video then. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. And also, sorry, I know I said I was just going to end it, but there's one more thing I forgot to mention. The Sissio, the remix of the Reincarnation theme, the main theme of the Dreams of the Revenants edition, with the Sissio vocals that you unlock after finishing Reincarnation, that is so weird. I can't really say I like it the most, I just think it's so unusual how the vocals can be used for a completely different song. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys later.